There's a new Spider-Man in town.
The 15th iteration of Spider-Man. I don't actually know if it is, but we've had so many Spider-Mans. But what I've seen so far, I don't love.
Even if the next 2 episodes are great, do I think it's worth an 8 out of 10 that they gave it? No.
I think my main problem is it's just not different enough to warrant yet another Spider-Man. Like, we literally just had Marvel's Spider-Man.
That's actually the first thing I want to talk about.
The style.
The style.
Lack of style.
Lack of style. There are certain YouTubers out there who their first thing that they're going to point to is things like race.
It would be easy to be, this is woke, therefore bad.
That's the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I'd like to get deeper with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get that out of the way real quick. They've race swapped and gender swapped a few. So Harry is black. Harry's dad is black. Norman Osborn.
But he always had cornrows.
Yes. But I'm not even mad that he's black. I'm just mad that he's no longer ginger. Disney keeps taking away my ginger kings.
And true. And the only ginger person I noticed in this was like a homeless person.
No, there's 3. There's the very angry professor in the second episode, and then the bully in the first episode that tries to beat him up. Everyone in this show that's bad is a ginger, and I'm just like, oh man, because like, they came for Ariel. They took my my Disney princess, and then Kurt Connors is. Oh, I can't remember, Charlotte Connors or something.
Yeah.
She's now a woman. Before we start, this wasn't always its own show. This was originally a Homecoming prequel. So this was going to have Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
They then realized that, hey, that's a stupid idea because we can't use any bad guys or do anything interesting because otherwise Peter would have too much experience by Homecoming.
Yeah.
Where he has 0. He fought some street level thugs. You're not going to make a whole show about Spider-Man about street level thugs.
Yeah.
Especially when most of those thugs are just misunderstood poor women.
Correct. That was very interesting.
So they veered away from that and said, hey, Marvel, that was a stupid idea. Can we not do that? And they decided not to do that. Also, it helps because Tom Holland is extremely expensive, even just for his voice. But they do have a Tom Holland sound alike that they usually use for What If. I don't know if this is the same guy, but he's doing a different voice.
Yeah.
So they've instead pivoted to like a 1960s, 70s comic book style, but 3D animation that I don't think works at all.
I wish they just went full Archer with it because Archer's been out for 15 years now and it looks just fine.
And it has style.
But for some reason, this is just like jarring. The mouth's not moving. I noticed it straight away. Mouths
not syncing.
They're either not synced or the person's just far away enough where their mouth doesn't move. I noticed it in the very first scene where Peter's running for the bus. Some guy's like, hey, watch it. And his mouth's just like, hey, watch it, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's too far away to animate. At least in anime, they made it part of the style of anime where, like, if the character's too far away, they don't have a face. But, like, that's consistent. Whereas the problem with this is it's not consistent. Even the frame rate doesn't feel consistent.
Yeah.
It's like occasionally they animate on 2s and the rest, it feels like it 4s.
Sometimes it's smooth.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're moving too quickly and there's no motion blur.
Yeah, but it's weird. On the scenes where he's web slinging, like just through the city, I'm like, okay, that's looking pretty smooth.
I think it's because he doesn't move, the background moves, maybe? Or maybe it's just a trick of the brain, but they're doing full CG environments for most of it so they can turn things. I just don't think it looks any good. And we did point out in the credits, they show like concept art, I guess, but that looks so much better. And I think it's just because there's texture, like even just the paper texture behind the people and like the slight pastel colors versus everything so saturated.
You need to go like full cell shading, you know? It's like the shading and stuff in the concept art and just like how they're drawn looks really good for that style, but they just couldn't get it onto 3D for some reason.
Yeah, and I assume they went 3D because it's cheaper. Don't forget to subscribe to your friendly neighborhood Birkenbeard.
I don't understand it. And I think, and I mentioned this while we're watching episode 1, is that I think someone in the office was like, but remember Invincible season 1, how like they would just move a JPEG of him flying through the sky, but then like the fight scenes would look good. Someone said exactly that, and they said, well, we can do that.
But they forgot to say the fight scenes looked good. They just left that out because even during the fights, it's still pretty
and also, I'm sure this
jumpy.
costs 50 times more than what Invincible season 1 cost.
Which is also the bad thing because Invincible was cheap. It was an unknown. It was like, hey, we don't know if anyone's going to watch this random superhero.
Yeah.
Turns out it was really popular because they got a bunch of great voice actors in.
And I know this was probably made, or like in the works for a very long time, being animated this way. And at some point they're like, fuck, you know, we just got to stick to it. But X-Men just came out.
Yes, although I didn't love that art style either.
You didn't like that?
No, X-Men 97 didn't do it for me.
But when that looked smooth, it looked smooth.
Yes,
like,
it looked
real
well
good.
animated. I didn't like the style, but it was well animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
How come this
Especially
one doesn't have either?
Yes. And
You know?
like old Spider-Man shows, when they looked a bit janky, like even Spectacular Spider-Man, occasionally, the best Spider-Man, looked a bit funky. Or you'd be like, oh, but it was just a random, like...
Yeah.
Disney wasn't the juggernaut it was now.
But like, I
where
don't
they can throw money around.
We were mastering kids' TV shows. Not saying that this is necessarily a kids' TV show. We were mastering that 20 years ago.
Iron Man
Armored Adventures.
Hell yeah.
You know, that's immediately what I thought about. And I'm like, that show just looked janky, but it looks way better than this.
But we've also rewatched that recently, and it's still, like it looks better than this.
He's a man on a mission. In armor of high-tech ammunition.
Yes. That's the main thing that hurts it straight out the gate. It has very little style, and its style isn't like, oh, this is the comic book one, which sets it apart from the others. It's not Ultimate Spider-Man, like the game, where it's like, this is a different Spider-Man because it looks crazy cartoony. Occasionally, they do cut to, like, they crop out a little bit to make it a comic book frame.
Yeah.
And they don't really do anything too interesting with that.
They should have lent into it way more.
Like Ultimate Spider-Man
It should have been its thing.
They only really use it when they want two characters on screen at once. Or in the Doctor Strange fight, they do the portal. He falls from one frame to the next. That was cool.
That should happen all the time.
Yeah,
when
would give it the
walks into
style.
a room where it's changing scenes, anything.
Yeah, the Drake Bell Spider-Man did the whole freeze frame, and then he would come up, like he'd Cusco. He'd come out and be like, you're probably wondering, like, oh, this is crazy, isn't it? How am I going to get out of this? It was a strange show. I mean, it was Drake Bell doing it for one. It was kind of like, he's the hotness of the time. Let's use him. But that's the thing. We've had so many different Spider-Men, and they've all had somewhat of a different take. This one's different take seems to be the gender race swap and slight comic book, because they haven't done anything crazy. Oh, actually, because it was originally a Homecoming prequel, they are riffing on some of the Homecoming stuff. Like, Nico is basically a Ned replacement.
Yeah. I don't know why they introduced her. Well, why they even put her in this setting.
Yeah, they decided they needed a favorite character, even though, because like Spectacular Spider-Man had Harry being like the nerdy best friend, which was an interesting take. The latest Marvel Spider-Man did a weird thing where they were at Horizon High and they were all super geniuses. So it was kind of like Iron Man Armored Adventures in the way that like everyone that went to this school was a super genius.
Yeah.
And that's why everyone started becoming Spider-Man. Like his best friend was Miles Morales in that one.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of the difference there. It was like that it was 4 Spider-Men out the gate. Whereas this one, I just don't see it yet. Maybe more is happening, but they're doing modernisms.
I'm seeing way too many shaved heads.
And the same character walking past.
Yeah, I noticed it a few times. There's like characters that are just the exact same model, but they'll just change the color of her hair and dungarees. For example, you see her at the start when Peter gets the train, and then you see her on a train that Peter catches up to, and then you see her later with different like hair and stuff or different dungarees. It's the same model. They just put her in different places.
Yeah.
And I'm sure someone's going to say like, do you not understand how hard it is to animate or draw this?
Yeah.
But if the same person said, oh, this was done so cheaply, I'd believe them. I know nothing about animation.
I hope it was done cheaply, but I doubt it because, again, it's Disney and it's their biggest character. There's no way they did that cheaply. It'd be insane for them to be like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it.
It just looks gross. Like, cut out a couple of things and focus somewhere else. Like, for example, I just look back and his hair is lightly swaying when he is like moving and talking to Nico. And I'm like, let's not focus on that. And how about you make the character in the background reading the whiteboard, you know, actually looking at the whiteboard.
Scanning it for a full scene.
But like, it's like weird perspective, like in a video game where you stand in front of a character and they look.
I mean, I don't know what software they're using, but yeah, potentially maybe there's a button they press that goes like, jiggle hair, because there's a few characters in the background. Most don't move, some do. More move than the trailer made us believe.
Yeah, the trailer
we thought it was going to be dog
water.
shit.
There are still some really great like parts where I'd be like, Daniel, look at her, look at him, and they'll just be a person, drawn. Just not even, they didn't 3D model them. They just drew someone being like this in the background, or like wearing a fedora.
That's
or something.
Another weird thing. They're drawn into the background, whereas some characters do have the slight like. At the football game, some people like will do this every now and then. Like the rest of them still, or like they'll just every now and then to give it a little bit of motion, which again is more than the trailer bothered to do. But then, the people that are drawn into the background, they never look normal. They're not even just like highly detailed because like they don't move. It's like someone went, and because they're like,
we need someone for the background. It's like,
yeah, they look fucked up, and it's so distracting, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, but while we're on the topic of like that movement, I noticed it when Pete saved Harry. It's weird because they don't want them to stay still for too long because it'll look too much like a comic book, or it'll look too like uncanny valley. It's like we're talking like this, you know. It's like, whoa, my god, you're Spider-Man, that's crazy, you know. It's like, why are you being so emotive? Oh, I know, because you picked this dog shit art style where
they're trying to distract
they need to be, otherwise they're not moving enough.
Otherwise it'd be like the Fallout NPCs, how they're always kind of like vibrating. A couple of weird modernisms. Peter kills some people. He throws people into brick, but then there's this random scene where I guess we're trying to show that he's a good guy because he brings some money back to a pizzeria. He's got the criminal next to him all webbed up, but it's a young woman and she's like crying and she's like, please, I'm just down on my luck. I've just lost my job. And then we're like, of course,
do you know what you better
one's
do?
a bad guy.
Rob somewhere.
Rob a pizza place. I know you hate criminals.
I hate all types of criminals.
Big criminal hater. Yeah, they contrast the young woman just down on her luck with this guy photographing.
If he had said to Spidey, look, I'm just down on my luck, does he let him go? And I know it's like,
he doesn't get a chance because he gets thrown into a brick wall.
It's showing that he's young and naive and he has hope for the world.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
No.
But it is funny that, like young woman, not criminal. Guy taking photos of pin code, criminal. Lock him up. Spider-Man has a line, I even called the cops before I nabbed you. So it's like, gives criminal woman chance. But then this other guy, he just sees him from a distance and goes, hello, police.
Doesn't even give him
There's
a chance. Because when he webs him, he also webs his mouth too. Please, she has my kids hostage in there. You know?
You never checked.
Never checked.
You made a mistake. Just please don't make me regret this.
I guess we'll go through the story.
Not much actually happens. There isn't actually any story.
Uncle Ben's already dead. May sheds a tear on his way to school.
Yes, we get the very quick insert of, it's been really hard since Uncle Ben left us.
Which again happens in Homecoming. Like they're kind of riffing on a few of those beats. You could call it creative. You could call it derivative.
No one wants to see him die again.
Depends how you're feeling. I am glad about that. Like, it's not Zack Snyder showing us slow motion Bruce Wayne's parents dying again.
The pearls falling on the floor again.
He goes to his new school, Midtown High, because he's been homecoming school. Identical layout with a fence that he jumps over in the movie. And then Doctor Strange lets a big monster through, who is basically a symbiote.
Looks a lot like a symbiote.
Looks like Craven symbiote.
With the Craven neck piece. That's where a little Spidey falls down.
Yes, it comes from, not from the guy, but from the same dimension.
Yes. Well, Strange is like, we're not supposed to be here, so I wonder if it's different dimension stuff.
Yes, I'd say it'd have to be a different dimension. But then someone steals the bag
with the spider in it.
Doctor Strange lets the monster in, has a little battle in the school. It's okay. It's fine. The cape does some cool stuff, as the cape always does. And then he zips him back away. Peter shows his bravery by saving Nico. Gets bitten by the spider. It's all very... We've seen it. But then they just skip forward a few months. And then he's going to the school and he's doing the whole balancing school and Spider-Man thing for a couple of baddies. He rescues Harry Osborn, who I guess he doesn't know is Harry Osborn to start with, because that never gets
well, he doesn't know.
up.
He doesn't. Oh, he says...
He finds out on the TV in the second episode.
But he says, good to save you, Harry. See ya, Harry. He knows who he is.
We hate his design. He looks like a fuckboy.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I don't know why they chose that. Make him stand out, I guess. Again, there's concept art
of him looking just like a regular person.
Yeah, like a normal guy with his dad's hair. But they decided, no, we want the internet to talk about this. And like, we want all the comments on Instagram to freak out.
How many earrings can we give him? 5?
4?
4, maybe?
Probably has a nose ring. We do heavily focus on the guy currently on screen, the jock, who becomes Peter's best friend. He starts dating...
Pearl.
Yes, he starts dating Pearl.
Peter's crush.
Who is based heavily by the looks on...
Obviously heavily based on Liz.
Yeah, they changed her a little bit, but like the hairstyle, especially in the concept art, is just Liz. So again, it's that Homecoming. They've kind of had to pivot last second.
We don't really focus on her too much. We focus more on her boyfriend, who has really everything going from him. He's star quarterback.
He's a genius.
He's like, I actually really love science because that's actually what, that's a career right there. But then he's also like, Mum, we'll fix your alternator.
Because he's poor / down in his luck.
/ racially profiled.
Yes, we follow him home. Like, they spend a decent chunk of the first episode on this guy. I don't know what they're going to do with him later. He's not the bully Flash Thompson like we would have assumed.
In the intro, he looks like he has weird fangs.
I think it's literally just his lower teeth at that angle.
Yeah.
Whenever the way they keep drawing him, it's just they should have realized it's a weird thing. The best friend Nico.
She's from the Midnight Suns.
Yes, she's Wizard Girl.
She's a witch. They ungothed her a little bit. At least in Midnight Suns.
They radicalized her.
No, I'm a softie for a goth girl with a choker. So how dare they take that away from me? We still got it. But,
instead, we got blue lips.
But I wonder when she's gonna get her powers of such.
Because they're setting up these people to have they've given us not Flash and not Ned as like the two other mains. So it definitely seems like they're going to give them powers and make it more of a Marvel's Ultimate
Young
Alliance.
Justice.
Yeah, which we've had in other Spider-Man shows. If anything, it would be more refreshing for them to just do Spider-Man again and have just Spider-Man, because we haven't had that since like Spectacular, I think.
Yeah.
But
especially like modern day movie Spider-Man, like the Tom Holland verse.
Yeah.
He always needs a supporting RDJ and like, or like somebody there.
Which they've riffed on in this, because when he gets home after school one day, because he can no longer go to Midtown High, that's one thing that they've tried to like change.
Yeah. Maybe it got destroyed too much. Doctor Strange did flip it kind of on its head.
Yes.
Well, dimensionally.
Which makes me wonder whether like it was the Homecoming universe up until the moment where Doctor Strange came through and that changed the universe, and that's why everything like went differently, even though the characters were different and all that. But yeah, maybe he wouldn't have met up with these certain people, and that's their big like, oh, this is the pivot. But they riff on more of the Homecoming stuff because he gets home, sees a cool car, says almost the exact lines to Aunt May as Tom Holland does.
Like, hey, look, there was a cool car outside.
Yeah, they do the whole like suit shot. So I guess
Aunt May's got to pay rent.
I guess if you were really dumb, you'd be like, it's Robert Downey Jr. If you hadn't seen any marketing material. Yeah. Just the way they pan up, like it's a reveal. But no, it is Mr. Osborn, and he wants to do an internship. It's the exact same thing, but the internship is real, I guess. Because in Homecoming, it was
it's the Stark internship.
Yeah, it was a lie so that he could do Spider-Man shiz. But in this, it actually is an internship where he meets Kurt Connors. He meets another diverse group of people.
God.
Infer from this picture of main character and supporting characters what you will.
This must be an alternate universe or something, because Wakanda was in the shadows until Captain America Civil War, and that's the first time Wakanda is like spoken of. They hadn't revealed themselves.
They revealed themselves during the Black Panther movie because they're forced to by Killmonger. So yeah, this another breakaway from the timeline.
She's like, I'm from Wakanda.
I do like, because like I like the way DC Universe always did their stuff where they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted in any movie and be like, it's Elseworlds. Yeah. None of this lines up. It's easier. You can sit down and watch a movie without having 10 years worth of homework, whereas you can with this, but you couldn't with like normal Marvel stuff.
I'm liking if they can just do that more often, Marvel, and be like, this doesn't have to fit in the timeline. This is just, this is what If should have been. Oh, they have a show about that.
What If?
What If?
That's what this kind of was again. Yeah, it was like that What If breakaway. I probably would have... I hate the What If art style as well. But I do like that it's not in canon. That is one good thing it actually has going for it. Because otherwise I wouldn't be getting any new Marvel Spider-Man.
But I like that he's not incredibly hot for once.
No, he looks stupid and his voice sucks. I don't like the voice actor. Me complaining about the sound of someone's voice.
Ironic.
He goes to the internship, but he has to leave on his break to go save crime or save people from a burning building. Save crime. This crime he's saving. He has to leave on his 15-minute break to go help with a fire happening. And he goes and he meets a really dumb villain who's burning down the wrong building for a developer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's anyone.
Well, it said in the credits they gave him like a name.
He's Firefly, played by Brandon Fraser from the cancelled DC Batgirl.
But yeah, he goes overtime fighting the Burninator, and then Dr. Connors like saves his butt, you think, and then it's like, Dr. Osborn wants to see you. Dr. Osborn? Mr. Osborn wants to see you.
He's probably a doctor.
Probably. He's something of a scientist himself. And then he goes and sees him like, I'm so sorry, please give me another chance. He goes, so you're Spider-Man, huh? And just shows him footage from like the stairwell where he just got dressed in his costume.
I guess he was probably in a rush, but like, come on,
that should happen way more often.
The fact it doesn't.
Pete, you're not that smart, huh?
There's a big security camera in a stairwell and he's like, I would have gotten away with it too. I think the worst thing from the looks, though, is the juddery motion and the mouth
and
not
the bad
matching
lip
up.
syncing. Yeah,
it's just distracting.
Lots of boys develop feelings for their babysitters. I won't judge you too much.
the message doesn't feel too crazy. It's very noticeable, but they're not pushing anything on us too much.
It really starts and stops with the race and gender swaps. Like, I don't know, Marvel Spider-Man 2 game, Harry was half Asian. I don't think anybody cared. I don't remember anybody caring. Like, again, they shouldn't care because you can do whatever you want. The writing, I guess we should probably talk about.
Oh, yeah. I don't like it.
It's not overly witty. Like, Spider-Man himself doesn't really have any good lines, like, to the point where the fire villain is burning everything and Spidey goes, I think you should cool down, and he gets a fire extinguisher. Like, that's the level of writing we're working with here.
We need Andrew Garfield level of quippiness.
Is that a knife? Is that a real knife?
Yes, it's a real knife.
My weakness, it's small knives.
He throws a brick at Venom in the intro, and he's like,
I was going to say pick on someone your own size.
but you actually look a lot bigger up close. Haha.
Shut up.
I think my biggest laugh was when they were cheering, like when they were happy that he got into the internship that he just got, and then like his neighbor says, keep it down, because there was another moment where something happened and you said, only in New York. Like, that's kind of the only riff that I giggle at.
Oh, God, just looking at background characters, I could spend forever. Look at that guy on the red shirt. He's just doing this.
It's annoying, because like, we're watching Solo Leveling at the moment.
Oh,
And there's a lot of moments in that where characters don't move because it's anime and they're saving money, but it's not distracting. I don't know I don't know exactly
it's
why.
interesting because it's definitely like a thing you see a lot in anime, like the things they do to save money. Like,
The snow goes by, but nothing else moves.
very big in like Naruto, for example. That was a big one where when they're jumping through trees, it's just literally their picture doing this and the background is moving behind them.
I mean, even Dragon Ball Z, when they're just standing there and their hair's going, but nothing else, or they'll cut to a wide and then the camera just like slowly pans, just like it's saving dollars. But it was never distracting. This feels distracting.
This feels like they didn't have enough money, they didn't have enough time, they didn't
When they should.
want to.
Especially for 10 episodes.
It's not going to take away from what's happening in the foreground.
It hasn't committed any cardinal sins. I'm not like, this is the worst show ever. It's kind of very convenient when shows are black and white, like, oh, this is absolute dog shit, or it's the greatest thing ever. But things can just be meh, and it could get better. It could get worse.
But this isn't like a Skeleton Crew level of meh, where it's like, this is maybe wrong place, wrong time.
could be
It's
good,
enjoyable, but it's just not great what we're looking for right now. This is like one rung below that, where it's like, I love Spider-Man and I want to see him, but this isn't what I want. Whereas Skeleton Crew is like, I'll put up with this because it's in the universe. This is like, I'll put up with this because it's in the universe.
It's also because like Skeleton Crew was Star Wars with pirates. Cool idea. What's this? Another Spider-Man show.
Yeah, about Spider-Man?
Yeah, that was the pitch. I think I walked in. You like Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. He was a man.
I need cartoons of Spider-Man. That's the whole show. And it just doesn't have
I need a black Harry Osborn. Make him gay and black.
Nico says that
she goes, one of us is going to get her or something.
Yeah.
It was going to be one of us. Shut your ass up.
I was really hoping it was going to be one of us.
There's too many Spider-Mans in this town.
We've definitely hit like Spider-Man saturation because it's not like it's been 5 years and this is the first Spider-Man to come back. It's like we're in between Into the Spider-Verse movies. Doomsday's coming up. Like he's still around. It's not like we're missing Spider-Man.
If anything, he's coming into his most relevancy with this next phase, probably. Or at least he should. Secret Wars.
He's going to be the biggest name.
He's like takes charge of the Avengers during
never
that
mind.
stuff.
Robert Downey Jr. is still fucking in it.
Oh, that's right. He's getting paid $30 billion.
95 million.
This is essentially like the last dregs of the old Marvel machine before the new guards come in now, but this is this was already in motion.
Oh, you mean like Bob Iger that's cancelled everything?
He's like, we're not doing any more of this DI kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
so this was one of the final. We have so much money.
Allegedly, that's what a lot of reviews will tell you, is that this is the last of the stuff they already had in production. We've already spent a lot of money on it. We might as well get $10 out of it.
It took a while to come out then. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has no reason to exist, but we're going to keep watching it because I didn't hate it, and they're only half-an-hour episodes.
Yeah.
They had to do 2 episodes intro.
I hate that. Disney, stop that.
2 episodes?
2 episode intro.
Well, it's because they needed to end on You're Spider-Man, because what happens at the end of the first episode
is
you get the
you
intern.
got the intern shit.
Norman Osborn being there instead of Tony Stark, they thought was cool, but they're like, shh, it's not first episode good. Give him another one.
Yeah.
Or you could just give me an hour first episode and I wouldn't have noticed.
true.
My little brain would have been
I'd
like,
rather
oh,
5 1-hour episodes.
our intro. Yeah.
But this makes me want to just go and watch like
Spectacular.
just anything.
Yeah.
Play Shattered Dimensions or even just like watch scenes from the first Spider-Man game, like the Activision ones.
No, the third one. Spider-Man, help! Jumps down, dies, and he's like, ah!
We're all gonna die. This didn't give me the exaggerated swagger of a white teen.
You're telling me
damn it.
Harry Osborn didn't have the exaggerated swagger of a black teen?
He did not when he was getting live streamed, getting mugged.
Oh, yes, that was the funniest line. They're like, we're going to beat up a rich kid and take his money.
Hey, do you want me to start live streaming?
No, put that away and come help beat up this rich guy. Anyway, that's the end of this live stream of crime. Goodbye.
Subscribe to Bergenbeard.